Sup, ladies and gentlemen, Aklon here, and welcome back to each and every one of you. Of course, we're talking about Dragonflight today, and we're taking a bit of a detour from the speculation stuff, and we're looking into the alpha and specifically XP reductions. There is a massive one, something that went completely under the radar by a lot of people. I'm going to be giving you the information that I think is prudent, and then I'm going to be discussing, to some extent, the impact and the end result of this XP reduction, and then of course something that we've been speaking about for many years now, covering World of Warcraft. But remember, if you agree with me in this video, if you find this video helpful and you really enjoy my method of delivering the news to you, then hit the like button. If you didn't, if you hated it, hit the dislike button and that'll teach me a lesson. No, it won't. It doesn't matter. But you can feel as if it did. You can also join us over on Twitch or become a YouTube member or a patron. Any and all help is always very much appreciated. And with that said, let's get into it, shall we? So something that was completely missed by almost everyone until Wowhead finally covered it is a giant XP nerf. And I mean massive. Just look at this chart. I mean, that is not the kind of thing you want to see in your financial portfolio ever. That is a nosedive. When we're talking about XP reduction, we're talking about level 1 to level 60. So this is the speed at which you're going to get to Dragonflight, not the speed at which you're going to go through Dragonflight. Blizzard have taken a massive nerf bat to this entire experience, basically giving you the ability to just smash through it. It also appears as if all of this level reduction is now also present in Chromie time. So even in Chromie time, you are going to level at an incredible speed, most likely not even finishing the entire expansion as a result of this. What this shows me on the face of it is that Chromie time had failed. And when I say failed, I don't mean that it wasn't a good idea. It probably just didn't really land with the community. It would seem that most people didn't choose Chromie time as a decent way of leveling, and this might just be Blizzard's way of saying, okay, you know what, you can choose where you want to start, but we're still going to give you like massive XP buffs, and you'll just get through the zones really quickly. And that's it, right? That's most likely what Blizzard is doing here, kind of giving up on the entire Chromie time thing and just allowing people to smash through the levels. Before we get into sort of the reasoning behind all of this, let's just quickly cover this. So you're going to be able to go really fast for most of the levels. In fact, level 1 to 9 is an incredible speed increase. Then level 31 to level 60, again, massive nerf. But for some curious reason, Blizzard have decided to take the spot between level 10 and level 30, that level range, and that's actually been slowed down, which is very interesting to me. Like, why would you slow it down? Overall, it still comes out to a 56.9% reduction in total required XP, which is insane, right? It's gonna take you probably twice as fast to be able to level, or you'll be able to level in about half the time that you did previously. It's a curious thing to me. Now, I believe that the main reason for this, and this is my opinion, you may have your own, I don't think that World of Warcraft's leveling is ever going to be good until Blizzard reworks it. This, by the way, is, I believe it's the third expansion in a row where Blizzard is tinkering with the early leveling experience. And it's clear that Blizzard is trying to make the early leveling experience decent. They're trying to find a way to make it feel good to the player base, because it doesn't feel good. In Legion, we had, I can't remember if we actually had tinkering. I know in BFA they made it considerably harder to level. Then in Shadowlands, they sort of relaxed that a little bit. I think BFA also introduced Chromie time, actually. So that would have been a massive overall. Or was that Legion? Can't remember. But one of those expansions actually introduced Chromie time. And then now, they're actually reducing the level requirements again, or the XP requirements again. So it suggests that Blizzard is truly suffering to find that Goldilocks zone of how do people feel happy about leveling, and then also how do we ensure that leveling still means something in World of Warcraft. And the truth is, you can't. The story of World of Warcraft is too fractured. It's dated. A lot of the zones is completely dated. Let's be honest, if you're going through Cataclysm, none of that lore is truly relevant in today's World of Warcraft. It was fun at the time, and yes, it's part of the history, but the way in which it's presented, there is a lot of extra fluff there that you as the player do not need to know in order to actually enjoy the game at max level. So I do believe that the only way for Blizzard to make leveling feel good again would be to revamp the entire leveling experience. Rework it from level 1 all the way to level 60. Make it a relatively quick experience. So I would say you should be able to get from level 1 to max level in about 2 days game time, if you're taking your time and you're really enjoying the cutscenes and the story and all the rest of it. And maybe a day if you're willing to skip everything. So 12 to 24 hours, I think, is a good amount of time to get from level 1 to level 60. But then in that storyline, make sure that people have the broad strokes of what they need. If Blizzard can do that, I think more people would enjoy the leveling experience. I also think that more people would actually buy into the leveling experience. And then maybe Chromie time needs to move to the Caverns of Time, and perhaps Chromie time has to be a true classic experience. So if you do level through the classic zone with Chromie time, maybe your character also reverts to classic, and then TBC, your character reverts to TBC, and then Wrath, your character reverts to Wrath, and then, you know, Cataclysm and Mist of Pandaria. I know this is a lot of work, right? But effectively make Chromie time the way in which you experience the classic versions of World of Warcraft. That could be, I think, one way to do it. Right now, I'm not sure how Blizzard would ultimately go about this. It seems to me that Blizzard is still in this instance trying to get the easy way out. They're trying to use what they have in their existing sort of state and simply tinker with it enough and hope that they can find a valuable and workable solution for the future. Maybe soon they'll realize that that is actually not possible, or perhaps they've already realized it. They just don't have the resources or the time right now in order to actually update an entire new leveling experience. But I would say that that is probably something that should be at the top of their list. The leveling experience is the first interaction that you as a new player have with a game. It is the opportunity for the game to introduce you to the magnificence of its world, the magnificence of its story. And I'm not suggesting that World of Warcraft should tie players down with hours and hours of needless dialogue and hours of cinematics that they can't skip through. I'm not suggesting that for a moment, but it should be epic, and it should explain what the world is. The current leveling experience of World of Warcraft does none of that. It isn't epic, and it does not explain what the world actually is. In fact, if the player wants to know anything about the world, it is almost always better for the player to come to YouTube, go watch some novel videos, or God forbid a new player should find my channel, they would be confused. But that's sort of the way in which you play the game now, right? Which isn't great, and I don't necessarily think I agree with Blizzard's methodology. But let's see what the future holds. Blizzard really do seem to be listening to feedback now, and they really do seem to be trying to fix the game insofar as everything in Dragonflight looks really good. So I'm going to go in with an open mind. I think this will work though. Just being able to fast the level is almost always going to be a good thing. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I've wasted enough of your time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. It'll make you feel better, and honestly, it doesn't hurt the channel whatsoever. So, you know, what ifs. I want to say thank you to the patrons, the YouTube members, and of course the Twitch subs for your continued support. It means the absolute world to me. If you want to be cool, simply join us over on one of those. The links are in the description down below. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, be kind to each other, be good to each other, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace out, fam.